Hi, welcome everybody to the Shoko Math Practice Lab, Learning Through Practicing. So today we're going to start a new unit. And the topic of this new unit is limits. And typical, in the calculus course, like the first topic we start is the limits, because the limit is the foundations when we talk about the derivatives here. Okay, so now in this unit, I plan to cover 8 topics for this unit. As always, we start with the easiest one and we go gradually to get harder and harder. So right now, I'm just going to give you a very brief introduction of what each video going to cover. So each topic will be one video here. So if for certain topics, you are already very good at it, and then you can just skip it and go to find the one, you have trouble, so you can practice, right? Okay, so for the first practice radio, the topic number 1 is we're going to start with very basic. If I give you a graph of the functions, how do you find the limit? So if I say the limit x approach to 2, the f of x, so how do you look at the graph of the function and identify the limit? Then the topic number 2, that will be the second videos, is we're going to talk about how to find some indefinite limits at the asymptote. So if for some of the functions here, f of x, when the x approach to a certain number, you're going to have an indefinite limit. It's either go to infinity or negative infinities here, right? So then that's what we call this vertical asymptote. So we're going to spend some time to talk about that. Then the topic number 3 to number 5. So those 3 videos will talk about the specific functions. How do we find the limits? So like for the topic number 3, the video number 3, we're going to talk how to find the limit if you have step functions, or some people call the piecewise function. That means you're going to have a certain jump and break in certain places. Yeah. So how do we find the limits for that? Then the next video is the video number 4, is we're going to work a very special function. We call this greatest integer functions here. So how do we find the limit if the function given to us is the greatest integer function? Then the topic number 5 is how do we find the absolute value function? This is a very commonly discussed topics in all the calculus class in order to find the limit about the absolute value. So the first things we're going to talk about is how to break the absolute value and how to get the limits. And then the next 2 videos, topic number 6 and number 7, we're going to talk about some very specific technique. So like topic number 6, we find the limit by using factoring. So after factoring your functions, then how do you find the limits? Of course, for this type of situations in the later, we also can use, so if you have a 0 over 0 situation, then after your factoring, your numerator and the denominator, you'll be able to cancel that out and you can get the limit. We also talk about another technique in the later units is L'Hopital's rule. We can also use the L'Hopital's rule to deal with this type of the situation. And but sometimes factory is sometimes easier to do. Okay, so then topic number 7 here, that's the video number 7. We're going to, I'm going to show you how to find the limit using a very special technique, is try to using the conjugate. This is a typical dealing with the functions. You have square roots, and then you have the square roots in the denominators, and how do you get it? How do you resolve the situation for the 0 over 0 situation again? So that's why by using the conjugate, this is a very kind of helpful techniques here. Okay, so the last one, the video number 8. And for these topics here, I think for most of the people, probably your teacher will skip this topic. This is we're going to talk briefly is about the precise definition of limit. That means from the mathematical point of view, how do you define the limit? How do, that's why we say how do you use the epsilon and the delta concept to define the limit. So most of the, like the teacher probably will skip this topic, but I think if you are going to the math major or science field, so this probably, will be a good topics to get familiar with. Okay, so that's it. And so let's will be this unit, and you will have A tapes to watch, and each tape I put like a 5 to 8 problems layer for you to practice, right? So remember, the practicing, that's the way to make you get better in the math. Okay, so well, nice to talk to you, and I hope to see you to watch my other videos here, right? You have a good day. Bye.